Morning, everyone. So this is our first Thursday, moving from Friday. So Thursday at 9 o'clock. Oh, a few technical issues this morning. But anyway, we've got there. So if you'd just like to take a comfortable seated position, fingertips on the ground, breathing in and growing tall. And just letting your shoulders drop away from your ears. Just closing your eyes. Inhaling as you stretch up. And as you exhale, let those shoulder blades drop down your back. Couple more breaths here. And then releasing your hands, stretching your hands right up, lifting your shoulders and look up between your hands. And release down slowly, as if you're wading your arms through treacle. And then turning your palms back up and up again, really fixed, slow, really pushing up, looking up at your hands. Turn your hands down, palms facing down and coming slowly back down, engaging those arms, shoulders down your back, and release and relax your hands on your lap. Okay, so just taking your head, tilting it over to the right, breathing into centre and over to the left. Into centre and out to the right. Into centre and out to the left. A couple more of these in your own time. And then just start to circle your neck in one direction. Only taking it as far back as is really comfortable for you. And reverse direction. And back to centre. And then taking your right arm up, bend your elbow, let your hand drop down your back, grab your elbow with your left hand, just give it a little tweak, stretching that tricep. And release and swap sides. And releasing your hands. Bring your right hand on the mat to your right, left arm coming up, palm facing up, looking up at that hand, opening your chest, letting your right shoulder drop, and looking up at that hand, keeping both sit bones on the mat. Then inhaling up to centre, both hands up, and then dropping your left hand down and bringing your right hand over, looking at your hand, opening your chest, dropping your left shoulder. And another couple of those. Inhaling to centre and exhale to the left. Stretch those fingertips. Inhaling to the centre and over to the right, stretching the fingertips. Back to centre. And then as you exhale, just folding forward, bringing your fingertips onto the ground and keep looking up. Just bringing yourself down, keep your back straight. As soon as you get to a point where your back starts to curve, then stop. Doesn't matter how upright you are. Chest forward. And just let your chest fall. Keeping your back straight. Keep looking up. And keep looking up. Now, just do a little experiment here. So you're now leaning forward to your mat with a straight back. Just be really conscious of your hips. And then I want you to drop your head, let your shoulders go, and just notice how little or no difference that makes to your fold. And then coming back up, arms up, interlocking the fingers, stretching up and release, interlocking the other way, stretching up, palms to the ceiling and release, and then getting rid of your props, coming onto all fours. Okay, we'll do a few cat-cows here. So the backs of your feet flat on the floor, your knees under your hips, your shoulders directly over your elbows, directly over your wrists, spreading your fingertips and your thumbs, pushing up through your arms, letting your tailbone drop, your head drop, and pushing up into a cat pose. And as you inhale, letting your belly drop, looking up and coming to cow. Exhaling to cat. And inhale to cow. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. On your next exhale, just let your spine go to neutral. Tuck your toes and come up into a down facing dog, heels off the ground, knees bent. Pushing up through those arms. And then slowly, little by little, walking your feet forward to the front of the mat and dropping into a forward fold. Soft knees, and then inhaling, rolling up, all the way up, arms up, stretching up, and release your arms back to your side and into mountain pose. Checking your alignment. Ankles directly under your hip joints, outside edges of your feet parallel with the outside edges of your mat, tailbone dropping down, engaging your thighs, coming up towards your groin, stretching your spine, shoulders back, shoulder blades down your back, palms facing forward, chin parallel to the ground, engaging your arms, engaging your legs. Inhaling your arms up, looking up, a little back bend and fold forward at the hips, letting your head drop. Inhaling halfway up, letting your back stretch forward, a little bit more length in that spine, and then folding again. Then inhaling with soft knees, pushing all the way up, little back bend and releasing down back into mountain pose. Take a breath, check your alignment, reset. Inhaling your arms up, exhale, stretching forward and down and into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up with soft knees, shoulders back and down, arms up, stretching tall, little back bend, and exhaling your hands down to your side, back into mountain pose. Inhaling, arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up with soft knees, stretching up, engaging those thighs, hands down, and back into mountain pose. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, really stretch, little back bend, and exhale to mountain. Inhaling, arms up, and exhale, stretching forward and fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and then this time plant your hands and step back into a plank pose. Wrists directly under your shoulders, spreading those fingers out, pushing up from those hands all the way up into your shoulders. And as you exhale, knees to the ground, flat of the feet to the ground, pushing back. If you're going into a child's pose, Elbows drop on the floor, and then you're sliding forward between your hands until your chest and your chin touch the ground. Your elbows peeled off, and then just let your legs slide backwards so you're flat on the floor, pushing up into a little cobra, and over your toes, and into a downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths. And then on your next exhale, walking your hands forward to the front of the mat, making sure they're hip width apart, placing your feet, spreading your toes, and fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhaling all the way up, and exhale to mountain. Inhaling up, and exhale, stretch and fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, take a breath. Exhaling, knees, sliding back, sliding forward, chest, chin on the ground, and sliding your legs back, inhaling up into a cobra, and over your toes, and into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths, move about here if either feels good, or stay in stillness. Maybe walking your legs out, maybe taking your hips from side to side, maybe taking your heels from side to side. Push through those hands, spread those fingers. And then on your next exhale, bring your weight forward over your wrists. Letting your head drop, and then just letting your feet walk forward to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. And inhaling, coming all the way up, fingertips to the ceiling, and exhaling back into your mountain pose. Take a breath and reset. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, stretching forward and down. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant hands, step back into plank. Take a breath while you just organise yourself. Exhaling, knees to the ground, feet to the ground, pushing your bum back, and then sliding forward between your hands until your chest and your chin touch the ground. Elbows are probably now off the floor, sliding your legs back, pushing up through your hands into a cobra and into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. On your next exhale, take your left foot and one big step to the front of the mat. And bring your right foot to join it and fold. Inhale, halfway rise, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up, stretching up, looking up at your hands, and exhaling back down to mountain pose. Just take a breath, reset. Inhaling, arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale, fold. Planting your hands, and then coming into a plank. Okay, we're doing something different here. So from your plank pose, I want you to push back into a down dog. Okay? So it's a little flow. Plank, down dog, plank, down dog, plank, down dog, plank. So when you're coming forward, so starting from plank, arching our backs up, pushing up into a downward facing dog, straight back, and then pushing your back into an arch again, bringing your shoulders over your wrists and into a plank. Couple more. And we meet in down dog. And here I want you to flip your feet, bring your knees to the ground, and come into a puppy pose. So you're stretching your arms forward, your hips are over your knees, and you've either got your head on the mat or your chin on the mat. And just let your chest sink. And then carefully coming out of that, come into an upward facing dog. Okay? So our hands, fingertips are spread, and we're looking up, head back. Okay? So again, we're going to make that into a little flow. So we're going to go puppy pose. And upward dog. Puppy pose. And upward dog. Puppy pose. And upward dog. And puppy pose. And upward dog. Just holding up to upward dog for a few moments. And then tuck your toes and come into a down dog. Take a breath. And as you exhale, stepping your feet to the front of the mat, checking their position into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. And then inhale, pushing up through your feet, all the way up. And exhale to mountain. Take a breath. So as you inhale, bringing your arms forward, sit in your chair, check the tracking of your knees. You should be able to see your big toe and your first toe. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, and take yourself through a vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. And down dog, inhale your right leg up, and as you exhale, bring it forward, turn out the back foot 45 degrees, and come up into your warrior one. Exhaling your hands down, back to plank, through a vinyasa, and we'll meet again in downward facing dog. And then inhaling the left leg up this time. And as you exhale, bring it to the front of the mat, turning out the back foot 45 degrees. And into warrior one on the other side. Feel like you're ripping that mat apart with your feet outside of your foot. And exhaling, hands down into plank. And we'll meet again in down dog through a vinyasa. And we'll take a few breaths here. And on your next exhale, coming onto your toes, bringing your weight forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. And walk as straight legs as you can to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, bending your knees, arms forward, sit in your chair. Check the alignment of your knees. And as you exhale into mountain pose. Inhale, arms forward and sit. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant hands, plank through a vinyasa to down dog. And just take a breath. Inhaling your right leg up and exhaling it to the front of the mat, turning out the back foot 45 degrees and coming into warrior one. Exhaling your hands down, shoulder height, turning your torso to the left into warrior two, gazing over those front fingertips, turning that front palm upwards, bringing that hand up and coming into your reverse warrior, left hand on the back of the left leg, and exhaling your hands down and into plank through a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. Inhaling your left leg up and exhaling, bringing it to the front of the mat and turning out the back foot 45 degrees and coming up into your warrior one. Exhaling, hands down, front to back, turning your torso to the right, gazing over your front fingertips. Inhaling, turning that palm up, coming up, right hand down the back of the leg into your reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheeling your hands down into plank through a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog for a few breaths. Big inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. One more in, out through the nose and out. And on your next exhale, just walking your feet to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Check the alignment of your feet, spreading your toes. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Then inhaling, arms forward, sit in your chair. And exhale to mountain. Inhaling, arms forward, sit in your chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, plant your hands and go into plank. Now I want you to do half yogi push-up. So pushing up through your arms, bringing your knees to the floor. Let your weight come forward until your elbows are 90 degrees, and then pushing up and rolling over your toes into a downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up and exhaling it forward and coming up into warrior one with your back foot turned out 45 degrees. And then as you exhale, straighten that front leg and fold down over that leg, peeling that foot off the floor. And then coming back into your warrior one. And exhaling, hands down, plank, vinyasa, down dog. Yogi's choice. Knees, chest, chin. Half yogi push-up. Full yogi push-up. And in downward dog, inhaling your left leg up. And exhaling to the front of the mat, turning out your back foot 45 degrees. Coming into a warrior one. On your next exhale, straighten your front leg, peeling that foot off the ground, stretching forward and fold over that front leg. Then coming back into your warrior one, arms up. And then as you exhale, hands down into plank through a vinyasa. And in down dog, just take a few breaths, just let everything settle back. Pushing the whole of your hands, your fingers, your thumbs, really into the floor and push. And then stepping forward to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, bending your knees and sit in your chair, arms forward, looking up between your hands. Glance down, check the alignment of your knees. And then as you exhale, back to mountain pose. Well done, guys. Take a few breaths. And then if you'd like to grab a brick, we're going to do supported bridge pose. So, onto your backs. You're very familiar with this pose now. So, onto your back. And then bringing your feet to the floor, pushing your hips up, and bring the brick underneath your sacrum on the lowest or the middle height. And then just let your sacrum relax down. Shoulders underneath you, palms facing up, stretching out your legs, okay? Stay here for a few minutes. As you breathe out, release the hips. Okay, you've got two options now. I either want you to stay where you are, or if you want a bit more, bringing the soles of your feet to the mat, pushing up and taking the brick up one more notch. So either from first to second or second to third. Stretching your legs out, palms up, and relax. And just bending your knees, bringing your feet flat on the floor, pressing up through your toes and removing the block and just slowly letting your spine come back down onto the mat. Knees together, feet at the edge of the mat. Just relax here for a moment. Okay, now coming up, sitting in a straddle pose. Now I want your back to be straight here, so if it's not, then you might need to give yourself some height. So sitting on a cushion or a bolster, or a brick or a block or some books or something. Okay. So we're going to do the stirring the pot now. So clasping your hands and stretching those towards your left foot and then forward as far as you can to your right foot, back to yourself, and then all the way around. So you're really giving the hips and the back really nice flowy movement, back to front and side to side. And to centre and reverse your direction. And back to centre. And then fingertips on the floor. Now again, I want you to look up and I want you to keep your back straight here, because actually slouching forward won't increase the amount of movement that you get. So fingertips forward. Keep looking up. Keep looking up. And just let the weight of your upper body drop between your legs, keeping your back as straight as possible. You might be up on your fingertips, you might be down, forward, you might be on your elbows. And then if you want to, just drop your head. And then slowly, slowly walking your hands back up to an upright position. Okay, now lifting up your right arm, coming over, leaning over to the right and bringing your left arm onto the inside of your left leg, okay? So that you're really opening up your chest. And then just let those fingertips stretch. Looking up underneath that arm. And keeping that left sit bone on the ground. And then coming up to centre and going down to the right. So left arm in front of the left leg. Using that just give yourself a twist round, looking out under that armpit. And then coming up, we'll do one more on each side. So back to the left, left arm on the inside of the left leg, twist. And back to centre and down to the right. Right arm on the inside of your right leg this time. And back to centre, and just using your hands to bring your knees together. Turn around so that your lengthways on the mat. Okay, your feet straight out in front of you, engaging your legs, keeping your body in an L shape. Coming back, fingertips on the floor just to help you back so that you're balancing on your bottom in that V shape with your arms straight forward, okay? And then you're coming down very slowly, but you're not coming to the floor, and then you're coming back up, okay? Little flow from boat to low boat, to boat to low boat. It's an absolute killer, this. And then next time you're in the boat, just hold and slowly letting it all down. And coming onto your back, arms out to the side. We'll just do a little spinal twist to release that. So knees up to your chest, and then let your knees drop down to your right elbow and look to the left. And rolling back up to centre and letting your knees drop towards the left armpit and looking over to the right. And then back to centre. Give yourself a little back massage on the mat. And then bringing your soles of your feet together, letting your feet drop out on your back, palms facing up. Just let those knees drop out. Okay, so if you'd like to grab your bolster and a wall, we're going to put our legs up the wall. So bolster all the way in. Going in sideways is probably easiest because you've got to get your bottom right against the wall. Okay, so there is a bit of shifting around to do. So when you get up, you'll probably feel like your bum can go a bit closer, so you just need to walk your shoulders so that your bum and the back of your legs are flat. And then just letting your feet stay where they are and the weight of your legs. Bring that down. We'll stay here for a few minutes. Okay, now bending your knees, bringing the soles of your feet together. Just let your knees drop out. If you need to wiggle yourself back closer to the wall, then just do that as well. And then stretching your legs out to the side into a straddle pose on the wall. Just letting the weight of your legs, let gravity do its work. Okay, so bringing your legs straight back up the wall. And then bending your knees, rolling off to the side, and bring yourself back onto your mat. Onto your back and into your final relaxation. Feet are apart and just dropping out, relaxing to the side. Belly's relaxed and all your hips. Letting your back sink into the floor. Just feel where you're touching the floor. And the backs of your arms, your shoulders. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your tongue. Relaxing your face. And just slowly bringing yourself back. Being aware of your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe give yourself a stretch. Bending your knees and rolling over onto the right side of your body, using your right arm as a pillow. And then slowly coming up, your eyes closed, back into your comfortable seated position. Sitting up tall, shoulders dropping down. Arms together, fingers and thumbs spread. The base of your thumb against your sternum. Dropping your head. Namaste. Thanks.